Hi guys, it's Kirsty here and thanks for tuning into my channel Crypto Flamingo. Today I'm going to talk to you about a company called Oath Protocol. So what is Oath Protocol? Oath Protocol can be thought of a bit like an insurance policy during a business transaction. So using a smart contract and by pledging a value to the contract to show that you believe in the terms, you can carry out a business transaction, and if everything goes well, the deposit is given back to you. But if it doesn't, it's put into a pot until a legal case is decided, and then a bunch of jurors who are related to Oath Protocol will decide who wins. So what makes Oath Protocol a unique product? Firstly, it's the fact that they've developed a draft smart contract template. So they're trying to make it easy for you. They're trying to say, okay, here's an outline for you, pop your details in and we'll look after the rest. They're saying if you carry out your business and something bad happens, we've got you. We'll make sure you're all right. We've got all these people in our network who will act as jurors. We have automated processes which will hold the deposit, which will distribute rewards, all these things. So they're essentially an insurance provider. The Oath Protocol is going to have a couple of layers. One of them is going to be the voting side, where jurors can actually dictate stuff. And the other is going to be an IPFS platform, where they can hold all the legal documentation. So who's the target market for this product? So ultimately, it's anybody that wants to do a business transaction with an untrusted party. So this will be a method for you to create an insurance policy to hold funds until each of you have decided that it's going to work for you. They haven't, however, given any information on the actual demographics of the people they're trying to get. So we know from the resources sheet that a lot of people involved in this product are based in America and Asia, but they haven't said where they're going to roll out the product. We can only assume that they want it to be worldwide. However, their age, their sex, their location, none of these things have been defined. And without knowing who your target market is, it's difficult to say what your marketing strategy is going to be. So we know that in terms of trying to get jurors, the first people to become jurors are the ones who buy the tokens through the exchanges, which means that the early adopters in terms of jurors are probably going to be of a very similar segment, if you like. They're likely to be a similar age, maybe a similar class, maybe a similar mindset. However, the aim is to try and get diversity. And how they promote additional jurors to get involved is through referral marketing. So if you're already a juror, you're going to get rewarded again for asking someone else to join the service. A bit like Airbnb. If you refer a friend, you get, I think it's £10-15 towards your next stay or something. However, I don't really feel that helps to promote further diversity, because if I'm a big wealthy investor and my friends are all big wealthy investors, you're just going to end up with loads more wealthy investors, rather than Jane, who works in the shop, and John, who's a 70-year-old, and Lucy, who's 18. And do you know what I mean? You need to get true diversity to actually get a legal sort of juror application to function, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Next, how do you get people to actually use your platform? I don't feel like they've given any information in terms of how they're going to promote people to use Oath Protocol on top of EOS, Quark Chain, Ethereum. It feels a little bit like they're expecting these blockchains to do that for them. It's as if they're expecting EOS to promote people to use their contract as opposed to their own, which I feel is kind of high risk, because why would they take preferential treatment to helping promote you instead of anyone else or themselves? It just feels a little bit weird. So in terms of the operations, we know that there's going to be a mobile application for the jurors to use. So they're just going to have to quickly log on their phone, read the information and vote yes or no. If you're one of the parties in dispute, you're going to have a desktop application where you can upload all of the supplementary documentation to help fight your case. I would expect there's also going to be a mobile app for them to track when the results come in, but that wasn't clear on the white paper. We know they're going to have the smart contract template, and we know that they're going to have IPFS for storing the case details. But in terms of the actual day-to-day operations, so what are they actually going to be doing, wasn't very clear. It feels a little bit like they've tried to make it a passive product, so that they'll build it and then they'll let it manage itself automatically via the smart contracts and such like. The people that I think are going to be doing the most are going to be probably the parties in dispute, or the people doing the business relationship before they dispute, because they need to update the template contract, which they first need to get, I don't know where from, and then use it. And then the whole side of choosing which kinds of jurors. So another bit is they actually get to decide, I believe it's 3 categories of juror type. But the allocation of funds that they get from the ICO, a red flag for me was the fact that they've allocated 30% to the fundraising. What is fundraising? What are you fundraising for? I kind of thought the ICO would be the fundraising. We know that it's not for community incentives because there's already 30% for that. We know it's not for negotiating partnerships because there's already 10% for that. So what I think fundraising means in a roundabout way is contingency. I think they don't want to say it, but it's contingency. So I had a look at the incoming and outgoing costs associated to this to find out how they would be sustainable long term. And I couldn't really see how they're going to earn money. I know that they're doing the ICO, but how do they get money over time? I think maybe they might charge people for their draft smart contract template, or maybe they're going to keep a portion of the monies after a dispute, or maybe they're going to charge businesses for uploading the IPFS case stuff. I don't know. It was a bit weird. I would like to see more information on how they actually make money. So my overall opinion on this product, their solution seems to be interesting. I think it's quite cool, but I think it's got a lot of holes in it, and I think it does need a little bit more refinement. The core things being adoption. How are they going to get people to actually use their contract instead of writing their own? How are they going to make sure that the jurors involved are from diverse backgrounds? And does the initial credit rating system create bias? Does it make it a little bit dodgy? I think that they need more information on who their target market is, because it's not clear who they actually want to use this and what their demographics are. And because this information isn't shown, it's hard to get a grasp of what their marketing strategy is going to be, out with the referral program for jurors through network marketing, as well as their growth strategy. If you don't know who you're targeting, where you're targeting, how do you know where you're going to target next? I felt like their operations were very outsourced, and maybe that's a good thing because it lets it be passive, but I just felt like it's going to make it difficult to promote adoption, to create juror diversity, if there isn't more information on day-to-day running of the product and people taking ownership for it and helping it grow. I also felt like there isn't enough information about how they're actually going to make money, which is a critical point. If the business isn't going to show how they're making money over time, how do I know that it's a reliable investment long term and not just a pump and dump scheme? So yeah, I think it has merit, but it's not well established in my opinion, and it does need a bit more work. So I hope this has been valuable. If you have any comments, please leave them in the box below. And if you like this kind of content, subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.